Welcome to our exploration of the mysterious disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. This enigma has captivated conspiracy theorists and mystery enthusiasts alike, sparking numerous theories about its fate and the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. On March 8, 2014, Flight 370 vanished from radar screens, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Despite extensive search efforts, the aircraft's final resting place remains unknown, fueling speculation and intrigue around the world. One of the most intriguing theories suggests that Flight 370 was taken by aliens. Proponents of this idea point to the lack of debris and the sudden disappearance from radar as evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. Radar data from the night of the disappearance shows the plane making unexpected turns. These maneuvers have led some to believe that the aircraft was under the control of an unknown force, possibly of alien origin. Supporters of the alien abduction theory argue that advanced extraterrestrial technology could easily evade human detection. This would explain why no trace of the plane has been found, despite extensive search efforts. Skeptics, however, point out that there is no concrete evidence to support the alien theory. They argue that more plausible explanations, such as mechanical failure or human error, should be considered first. The mystery deepens with reports of unusual radar blips and unidentified flying objects in the area. These sightings have been linked to the possibility of alien involvement, adding another layer to the conspiracy.
Here are some facts about Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The plane's cargo. The plane was carrying electronics, including lithium batteries and walkie-talkies, as well as a large shipment of mangosteens. Unusual signal disappearance. The plane's transponder, which was supposed to chirp when hit by radar, went silent. Flight path. Military radar tracked the plane for an hour after it disappeared from civilian radar and turned left 90 degrees and disappeared into the Indian Ocean. Voicemails and texts. In 2018, someone received voicemails and texts with coordinates near where the plane disappeared. The voicemails were coded in NATO phonetic alphabet and alluded to alien abduction. Investigators dismissed the calls as a prank or hoax. Passenger theories. Some say the plane was deliberately taken off course by an experienced pilot. Others have speculated that the plane was struck by a meteor, though the statistical probability of this is very low. And lastly, mental health. Some friends of Shah, who was on the plane, said he was lonely and sad and suffering from depression before the flight. Flight 370 took off at 12:41 a.m. local time and reached a cruising altitude of 10,000 to 700 meters, approximately 35,000 feet, at 1:01 a.m. The Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System (ACARS), which transmitted data about the aircraft's performance, sent its last transmission at 1:07 a.m. and was subsequently switched off. The last voice communication from the crew occurred at 1:19 a.m. and at 1:21 a.m. the plane's transponder, which communicated with air traffic control, was switched off. Just as the plane was about to enter Vietnamese airspace over the South China Sea, at 1:30 a.m., Malaysian military and civilian radar began tracking the plane as it turned around and then flew southwest over the Malaysia Peninsula and then northwest over the Strait of Malacca. At 2:22 a.m., Malaysian military radar lost contact with the plane over the Andaman Sea, and Inmarsat satellite in geostationary orbit over the Indian Ocean received hourly signals from Flight 370 and last detected the plane at 8:11 a.m. Initial searches for the plane concentrated on the South China Sea. After it determined the Flight 370 had turned to the west shortly after the transponders was switched off, search efforts moved to the Strait of Malacca and the Andaman Sea. On March 15th, a week after the plane had disappeared, the Inmarsat contact was disclosed. Analysis of the signal could not locate the plane precisely, but did determine that the plane might have been anywhere on two arcs, one stretching from Java southward into the Indian Ocean southwest of Australia, and the other stretching northward across Asia. The first piece of debris was not found until July 29, 2015, when the right-wing flaperon was discovered on a beach on the French island of Réunion, about 3,700 kilometers or 2,300 miles west of the Indian Ocean, area that was being searched by Australian authorities. Over the next year and a half, 26 more pieces of debris were found on the shores of Tanzania, Mozambique, South Africa, Madagascar, and Mauritius. 3 of the 27 pieces were positively identified as coming from Flight 370, and 17 were thought to have likely come from the plane. 2 pieces come from the cabin interior, suggesting that the plane had broken up, but whether the plane broke up in the air or on impact with the ocean could not be determined. Study of the Reunion wing flaperon and a piece of the right wing flap found in Tanzania showed that the plane had not undergone a controlled descent. That is, the plane had not been guided to a water landing. Some researchers note that Flight 370 could have struck the water vertically. A possibility in which the results of one modeling study conducted before the flaperon's discovery suggests could explain the dearth of physical evidence. The debris locations were used to narrow the search area in the Indian Ocean, since some possible crash sites would have been unlikely to produce debris that would have drifted to Africa. In the weeks following Flight 370's disappearance, theories range from mechanical failure to pilot suicide. The loss of the ACARS and transponder signals spurred ongoing speculations about some form of hijacking, but no individual or group claimed responsibility, and it seemed unlikely that hijackers would have thrown the plane to the southern Indian Ocean. That the signals had likely been switched off from inside the aircraft suggested suicide by one of the crew, but nothing obviously suspicious was found in the behavior of the captain, the first officer, or the cabin crew immediately prior to the flight. In 2016, New York Magazine reported that the pilot on his home flight simulator had flown over the southern Indian Ocean less than a month before the plane vanished, a simulator flight that closely matched the missing aircraft's final path. The revelation, in addition to the release of greater information about the pilot's personal life, lent credence to the notion of a premeditated pilot-induced mass murder-suicide. After the discovery of the debris, some speculated that Flight 370 was shot down, but no evidence of shrapnel from a missile or other projectiles have been found. The following clips are 2 videos of supposed military radar and thermal radar recordings of what happened to the Malaysia Flight 370. These were leaked on Reddit, and to this day, many people argue whether they are authentic and real or just a hoax. The clips show what is apparently supposed to be Flight 370 flying through the air. You start to see 3 flying orbs side by side and doing maneuvers almost like a circle around the airplane. And after a minute or two, the plane with the orbs just disappear into what seems some type of vortex or wormhole, some type of portal. The clip is very hard to find nowadays. It was leaked initially around May of 2024. I was able to find it and track it down on Reddit. This nice Redditor was kind enough to put both clips side by side so you can see that it's the same clip just on different radar cameras. You can't find it on YouTube, you can't find it anywhere else. So it took me a while to track this footage down. Since the footage was leaked on Reddit, a lot of people, especially famous VFX YouTube channels and scientists and experts on the matter of the disappearance of Flight 370, have argued back and forth on whether the video is authentic or not. For example, the guys over at Corridor on YouTube concluded to that in their expert analysis, the video is a hoax, and that the supposed portal that opens up that then sucks in the airplane and those orbs looks eerily similar to an explosion animation from the old 90s video game Doom, the original Doom. And they showed side by side comparisons where they also found the actual animation is available to use for video and or video games. And so they concluded, specifically with that being their smoking gun, that this video was a hoax. A lot of airplane experts and radar experts seemed to think that this was a legitimate video. It seemed like it was a leak. Nobody knows who the Redditor that originally leaked it was. The account is no longer available, and they did not leave any other message after posting the video. All they did was post descriptions of the video explaining that it was of the Malaysia Flight 370 airplane around the time that it was going over the Indian Ocean within the minutes that it disappeared. And with that, I leave it up to you to decide what you believe. What do you think really happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370? Like the video and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this on the channel. Goodbye.